Greetings YouTube, and welcome to our fresh and flavorful kitchen. After video, please stick around for my shout outs. I do have a few shout outs. Today we will be preparing a slow cooked crock pot roast. Yum yum. A short list of ingredients. They'll also be listed right down there in the description. You'll have a 2 to 2.5 pound roast. You can either use beef or pork. You're looking for 5 medium to large potatoes, red, gold, bacon potatoes. You've also got purple potatoes out there you can use. They're very tasty. Your choice. I also have 1 pound of fingerling carrots and 2 cans of green beans. Now the reason I use canned green beans is because it takes a long time to cook green beans. So I use canned. I found it works really well for me. I usually start the roast about 8 o'clock in the morning and let it cook for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. I go ahead and add water to it and the secret ingredient. The secret ingredient I'll go ahead and reveal to you here in just a few moments. Before you start cooking it, you're going to add water to cover the top of it. You can also add garlic, salt, pepper, and add that to taste. Whose taste? Your taste. You want that to cook for about 2 hours to go ahead and start softening up the meat and making the gravy that comes along with it. I'll show you that also here in just a moment. If you add the vegetables, when you add the meat and let that cook, the vegetables are going to cook away to nothing. So you want to wait till about 2 to 3 hours after it's been cooking to add the vegetables. Now I wash the potatoes. I peel them because nobody here likes to eat the potatoes with the peelings on. I'm the only one in the house that likes potatoes with peelings on, so I go ahead and peel them. Now when I peel them, I go ahead and put them in salt water, just like that. They're going to be coarse chopped, something about that size. And I'll go ahead and show you. I've got one left here I'm going to go ahead and chop. The tools you're going to need is a chef's knife. This is a Henkel's. It's made out of Solingen steel from Solingen, Germany. I was presented these when I received my chef's paperwork. I am a papered chef. I cooked in fine dining restaurants for nearly 18 years. A lot of you don't know that, but it is true. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I cut this potato, how I usually cut them for my stuff. I just lay them down, get a good solid surface, right on through it. You can tell the knife's sharp because the potato sticks to it. You see how I'm holding my hands? You keep your hands out of the way. If you do not keep your hands out of the way, you notice that thumb, how it's missing on one side? This knife right here, cut the end off of my thumb just that quick. It still hurts to this very day. That was well over 10 years ago. You'll also need a good slicer. This is also a Henkel's made out of Solingen steel. Got a little water on it. This is the most dangerous knife in my block. This knife will also cut you to pieces. Got to be careful with these Henkel knives. They do cut stuff off. You've also got a little paring knife. You can also use to, cut up your tomatoes or whatever you might want to use. I also have a potato peeler to peel those potatoes. But as you can see, I've just chopped them up coarsely, about that size. That way there will still be some left after you get done cooking this. And I soak them right in that water. Now you remember me talking about these knives being sharp. The only reason I'm using my left hand is because I damaged my social finger there. I cut it wide open this morning, opening that meat. So that's why there's Band-Aid on it. I finally got it to stop bleeding. These knives are no joke. Now, we're going to go ahead. You want to drain. You want to drain these potatoes, get all the water off of them. Let them drain real nicely. And I'm gonna go ahead and dump them in. As you can see from the steam, that's one hot roast. Dump them right in there, just like so. Put the top back on. I also have my fingerling carrots. I'm gonna drain. The reason I set these in salt water, not only does it season them, but it also preserves them a little bit. A lot of times when you put raw vegetables in the refrigerator, they'll turn colors on you. Don't want that. There's that. Go ahead and put the top on it. Now, we are going to need 2 cans of green beans. Excuse my wires. I'll go ahead and pop them open. You're going to want to drain them and get them in the pot. I just use a hand crank can opener. I found they're a lot easier to deal with and a lot easier to keep clean. I found a lot of those electric can openers, it's nearly impossible to clean them and they just get gross, nasty. Set that to the side. Go ahead and open another can. And you don't have to buy the most expensive ingredients you find. You can buy the budget-minded stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'll go ahead and dump them, let them drain. Get rid of that lid. We don't want to cook that. There's my other can of green beans. A little bit different color. I think it's a different brand. Yeah, it's Kroger brand. And I drain all the fluid off those. Let's see here. Those are yummy. I like to taste everything because I don't want to give anybody any garbage. I want to make sure it tastes good. Now, I'm going to have to pause just for a moment. I've got to go get the secret ingredient and I'll be right back. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back with you now. I went ahead and picked up the secret ingredient. I've never divulged it before, but this is my secret ingredient. I know you're all thinking to yourself, Silvertop has lost it. You're going to put that in your roast. Yes, I am going to put it in the roast. There's one thing I can tell you about Coca-Cola, and it will tenderize and caramelize your roast. That's about 12 ounces of Coca-Cola. Y'all don't be telling everybody in the world about my secret ingredient. And if you try this, you'll think to yourself, well, he ain't lost it. He hasn't gone crazy. It is very good. And I'm just going to lay all that in there. I don't know if you can see down in that pot, but you can see it's fuller than a tick on a hound dog in the middle of July. I've got her setting right around, I guess maybe 250 degrees right about now. I'm going to crank her up just a little bit and put a steam on her. I'm going to get rid of my garbage here. Get it out of the way. And that's really all there is to it. You let that cook until it's done. How do you know when it's done? That meat will start falling apart and the vegetables will just look cooked. You can go ahead and taste it. It's not going to hurt you. One little note. If you do use a pork roast with this, you can take at the end after it's all cooked, you can take and separate that meat. After you separate the meat, you can take and chop up the meat and put barbecue on it. It'll make some of the best barbecue you've ever tasted in your life. Now, I do have a few shout outs. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Raymond Millwood, JD Quad, Drone Worship Dan, and one man I know that loves good food is Captain Cook. 3D Printing with Heath, welcome brother. Sleeping Bear, I hope you're well. Mike Kelly, Drone Effects with Claude, the Maverick Channel, Phantom Flight 101, Mr. Tim Robinson, Blue Beauty. How you doing, girls? Good to see you every now and then. Chris John Emery, Camro Drone. Camro Drone's out there in Japan. RC Dude FPV, Robert Banks, Miss Brenda Klein, True Drone Reviews. I bet you'd eat up on this roast, wouldn't you, sir? Mr. Mad. Mr. Mad's got a boat that will do over 80 miles an hour. Y'all need to check him out. And then Home Droning. Now, if I've left you out, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. I was trying to get some of my new subscribers in. I am considering starting a new channel. It's called Fresh and Flavorful. It will be a cooking channel. Y'all let me know what you like, what you know, and let me know if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea. But that's it. That's what you have. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move these out of the way. Put them in there. I'm gonna scoot this out so you can get a good hankering look at it. Get it right here in front of the camera. Let's see if we can get a good shot on it. Now, see how that Coca-Cola has already turned that stuff, that water brown? It kind of looks like the Mississippi River. That's what you want. Now, when I was soaking these carrots and these potatoes, I soaked them in salt water just to give it some flavor. A couple of people I live with here, their stomach's kind of tender and they really can't handle a whole lot of spicy stuff. But you see this layer of grease on top? That's coming off that roast that's in there. You do not want to remove that. You want to let it cook. That's going to end up in these vegetables right here. But I hope you're all well. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this thing. And I'm going to let her cook till this evening. I'm also going to fix a tossed salad and some rice. I know it'll be very flavorful. I know it'll be delicious. So y'all let me know on the thoughts on the cooking channel, what you think, how you feel. I appreciate you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. This is Silver Top Flyer, signing off.